Hello and welcome to EC&M Asks, a Q&A video series brought to you by EC&M Magazine and found on the members only section of our website, in which readers pose their most pressing electrical questions and our subject matter experts answer them, like me, Terry Becker. So I am Terry Becker. I'm an electrical engineer based out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I have over 32 years experience, and for over 17 years, I've been focusing my career on electrical safety. So I'm really glad to be here with you today, and I'll just start with some of the questions. The first question that is something I really am quite concerned about, quite passionate about, is based on your experience, what is compliant arc flash and electric shock training? Now, again, I get asked, well, Terry, is there a simple answer to all these questions? The simple answer is the one that really can be substantiated or defended. And when it comes to compliant arc flash and shock training, that's ultimately really a key statement for the employer and more specifically the supervisor. So I'll be blunt, and I am typically known for that and quite outspoken, but the first thing you need in Canada, the US, believe it or not, is you have to have in Canada a CSA group copyright use agreement with CSA. Because if you're going to train on the standard and even use the cover, you have to have their permission. It would be the same with NFPA. So if you're doing NFPA 70E training in the US, you have to approach NFPA and you have to get, again, a copyright use agreement for them. So that's the first thing for the training anywhere in North America, in my opinion, or globally, that makes your training compliant. Now, there's a little bit more to that after that. So, who developed the training? How did they develop their subject matter expertise? How did they maintain their electrical safety subject matter expertise? Does the company have insurance? And, and why would we need insurance? Well, if you're providing training to your staff and there is an electrical incident, heaven forbid a fatality, then, different things kick in and the training would be audited, and you might have to sue the training company and the trainer. So really, compliant training needs pre-qualification of the company providing the training, and more specifically, the instructor or instructors that the company will use. All the way down to compliant training, do they use arc flash and shock props in the training, right? And behind me is my office, but it's also my training lab, and I've got arc flash and shock PP, I've got an MCC starter bucket, I've got a 3-phase disconnect switch over there, I've got test instruments, right? I've got even a way to establish an electrical work zone with red danger tape. So I find that a lot of the training, the instructor doesn't have any training aids, or they maybe have a couple of things. I've even got, let's say, what else do I have here? Oh, check this out. This is actually an arc-rated glove, and these were sold 15 years ago as a bridge to, well, there's no arc rating of gloves, but this is unbelievable because it's an oven mitt. All right, and you can't really do an effective job of holding hot sticks with it. It slides. So again, training, do you have copyright in place with your company? Who's your SME to develop it? Who are your instructors? How do they maintain their subject matter expertise every year? Do they write articles? Do they attend conferences? Do they present papers? Do you have PP props in your training, right? Is your training compliant not only to NFPA 70E or Z462, but is it compliant to ANSI Z10? Or does OSHA in the States have some guidance related to training? CSA actually has a training standard called Z1001, whereas the US doesn't have that. So these are all methods that the employer or the company hiring someone providing arc flash and shock training can, again, ensure that you're getting compliant training, and that training and instruction to your qualified persons is quality training as well, compliant quality training. So there's some brief answers on how to gauge, what is compliant arc flash and shock training. There's more to it, but possibly we could cover that off in a different question session. Well, it looks like we're about out of time for today. Again, I'm literally looking forward to picking up next time with answering some more questions on electrical safety, arc flash and shock hazards, arc flash and shock PPE, IEEE 1584 calculations, new information on capacitors. There's just an unbelievable amount of information here, and I really do look forward to coming back and answering more questions. So I thank you for joining us today and listening to me answering some of these questions. And again, this is a version of EC&M Asks, produced by EC&M Magazine, part of the portfolio of Endeavor Business Media Publications. Thank you, and have a great day, and be safe.